What first struck me about our Torah portion was the many, many no's. Lo, in Hebrew, one word I can actually remember. It's like a touchstone in the text, something familiar to look out for. Back in February, in a carefree, pre-COVID world, I took a workshop with a teacher who pointed out that no is an important developmental milestone in children associated with the beginning of self-definition. She quoted a linguist who said that the most significant development in the evolution of language was the development of the negative, the not, the no. To be holy because God is holy involves saying no to a lot of things. Saying no begins to give us a backbone, a holy backbone. Parenting through a pandemic has been a panoply of no's. Can I play with friends? No. Can we go to the playground? No. Can we go to school? No. Can I go to the pool? No. Can we have a birthday party? No. But in the end, it's not really about not doing this or that, though that is hard. Some days it's heartbreaking. It's about how all these no's allow us to protect our neighbors, those we know and those we will never meet. The no's in the text and in the present enable us to love our neighbor as ourselves. And in this space, more opportunities for no have bloomed. No to police brutality. No to federal agents gassing protesters. No to a culture that values Black lives less than white lives. No is the beginning of self-definition. Finally, it occurs to me that every no is a yes in disguise. Because saying no to self-righteousness, saying no to tempting bad behaviors of every kind, clears the path to show up with love for my family, my friends, my community, and even all those people I disagree with. Yes to love. Maybe, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself, is not just a command, but also a promise. And the path is marked by cairns of lo.
Hey, I'm Matt Harad. This is my Devar Torah. My folks are Ashkenazi Jews, but I was raised outside the community. In adulthood, I made a lot of Jewish friends, kind of selected to them, and I found my way to New York, where I was lucky to meet my Ashkenazi wife. And I always felt a Jewish kinship, but I lacked understanding of our shared culture. Now my kids are about to begin the B'nai journey, and my son is resisting. My wife is wondering if I think he should participate. So to answer this question, to share and support my kids, to enrich my family's relationship with the CBI community, for all of those reasons, I began the Adult B'nei. The Torah portion Kedoshim describes how to be holy. It has specifics from how long to keep meat, sexual norms, paying a fair wage, to sharing one's harvest with those less fortunate. 19.3 has Adonai telling us we must revere our parents. This reminds me of my mother-in-law and helps me understand my wife. There are other concepts that help me understand my wife's family. One is sanctification of the ordinary. For example, Annie and her mom insist on sitting to enjoy a meal and take ritual celebration and gift-giving seriously. I've enjoyed discovering the ethical framework that Judaism provides. Whatever their path, I'll impress upon my kids tikkun olam and tzedakah. Kedoshim is full of ethical prescription. 1935 and 36 tells us we mustn't falsify measures of weight, length, or capacity, and you shall have an honest balance. This reminds me of Trump's exaggeration of his inaugural crowd, or when he falsely insisted a hurricane would pass through Alabama, or the other thousands of lies he's told. I'm sickened by him and his enablers, and I find solace in the Torah, which insists upon honesty, fair play, and just treatment of others. Thank you.
I am a Jew by choice. From my younger days, I felt connected to the Jewish faith. Growing up, I did not have much exposure to the Jewish community, but I clearly remember vignettes from when I was young. The excitement of eating at a Jewish deli in Hollywood, or my profound fascination with an Orthodox family walking to shul on Shabbat in all their fine traditional clothing. My attitude towards Judaism evolved from curiosity to belonging. I knew going into this lifelong journey that it was going to be a commitment to our community, family, and most of all, to myself. 2 years ago, I started taking adult Hebrew at CBI. Like anything new, I felt excited and a little anxious. I was going to meet new people I would be able to say hello to before Mishpacha Minyan or Shabbat on the Green. People I was going to bond with over how incredibly difficult Hebrew is. And most importantly, I was going to commit to learning the blessings in Hebrew. I hadn't realized that I would end up discussing how to obtain holiness and practicing how to chant Kiddushim with 5 other adults in our community. For some reason, a few years ago, I decided that I was not going to pursue an Adult B'nei Mitzvah. I was content studying for my conversion, baking cookies for Break the Fast, attending the occasional Friday night service, signing up for and volunteering at our local JCC, doing the holidays with friends and family, walking in the Pride Parade with other fellow Jews, and cooking Jewish food from around the world. I was finished with my learning and just wanted to be part of the community. Then we adopted our daughter. My husband and I knew we were going to raise our kids Jewish. I didn't have the privilege of growing up Jewish. Fatherhood was my chance to witness that part of Judaism through my little one's eyes. Thinking about how to raise a Jewish family caused me to revisit the decision regarding my B'nai Mitzvah as part of our journey together. How could I expect my girls to go through this rite of passage when I hadn't? I wanted to be able to share with them my experiences. I wanted them to build Jewish bridges. So here I am in my final stretch of my B'nai Mitzvah. I still don't have the answers to holiness. I do know that it's a daily commitment to do right by Hashem. My reading of Hebrew is still a little shoddy. I'm still a bit anxious, not because I will probably stumble through my chanting or because of how amazing my singing voice is, but because of how my little one will feel after she watches the Zoom video of her Abba doing his part to be part of this amazing community. I'm sure she'll want to make her own video after she sees mine, and we'll do it together.
In this time of chaos, discord in our society, a pandemic raging, racism in the forelight, my reading of Leviticus 19:13 through 15 has impacted me wholeheartedly, especially in the words, "You shall not insult the deaf or place a stumbling block before the blind," and concluding with the plea to judge your kinsman fairly. Looking for the words to share how this impacted me, I would like to share from Isaiah 42. "Listen, you who are deaf, you blind ones, look up and see. Who is so blind as my servant, so deaf as the messenger I send? Seeing many things, he gives no heed. With ears open, he hears nothing." How often do we misjudge? Do we gossip? Do we give misinformation? Perhaps setting that stumbling block, insulting without meaning to? This tells me the importance of giving back with the gifts God has given me. Even that is just love and compassion. To help that deaf ear hear what's in my heart. To me, this says, open my eyes that I may see God's glory, my ears so I can hear God's words, to help others in ways that I can, to support by volunteering and through donations when I can, and not to render an unfair decision, to listen to all sides fairly. This was a very important reading to me because it's helping me open my eyes and my ears to what is most important today, and that is love, compassion, and hope.